Okay, yay. Hi, Elaine Marolakos Edelson here. Let me just get a little more organized. Sun's in Virgo. So come join me. Let me see. Today is the 3rd of September 2020, and we're going to be talking about the Sun in Virgo trining Uranus in Taurus. I'm making up my own language. Uranus in Taurus. Elaine Marolakos Edelson with Astrology Mojo. I want to help you get your mojo back because you are a Mojo Mystic. You know that, right? Okay, so just a reminder for those of us who don't know what I say, and that is that the planets in astrology don't make you do anything, that we live in a cooperation in the cosmos. So that when the planets make a move, you feel it. When you make a move, that's reflected by way of aspects and angles in astrology. And that's how that works, folks. So come and join me. Let's talk about the Sun in Virgo. I'll show you I have visual aid, of course. Let's talk about that. Hey, Renee's here. Sun in Virgo, and the Sun's in Virgo. So, there's so much going on, right? It just feels like it's more concentrated. And that sense of, and at the same time, that sense of stall, like I'm on hold, the world is saying. But yet so many people are moving forward with something different. So, the Virgo energy itself can be very fastidious, very neat and tidy. However, there's an up and down side to everybody when Virgo has difficulty processing thoughts. Virgo is guided by Mercury, the planet Mercury. And when Virgo has difficulty processing thoughts, you'll find big time piles of clutter somewhere in the house or in the car. Or in the drawers. So this is the time that, we entered Virgo at the end of August, but we were still in the Leo vibe and the 8-8 portal vibe. And so now it's really a great time to get organized, get it together. And that kind of feeling comes with, I got to clean something. I have to, look at the paperwork. So in the heavens, when a planet is about to go retrograde, you feel it, right? Especially from the point of view of Earth. Now we've got a lot of retrograde planets spinning right now. And Mars is about to go retrograde on September 9th through January 6th, I believe, 2021. And so that adds to the mix of, I want to get it done. Wait a minute. Why can't I get it done? It's like you load up your car with recyclables and then suddenly all the streets are being worked on and you can't get to where you want to go in a hurry, and then you get to the recycling place and they're closed. You're like, but I'm so organized. I got it together. And you're not helping me. So we just gotta, we're going to talk more about Mars in retrograde a little bit here and there, but as the days progress. Hey, Rhonda's here. Yay, you made it. Woohoo. So I think it's important that, even if you can organize something in your mind first on how you want to get something done or the plan. Who has Virgo friends? Anybody have a Virgo friend? Yeah. So the feedback can come when you're not asking, but it's great feedback, or it can be they have a Virgo friend who looked at my Instagram page is kind of new, and I haven't given it any attention until now. I'm starting to give it some love. So I'm posting every day, and I have Eleanor who's helping me. Thank you. And so it's kind of funny that, I have a friend who's a Virgo, and she just steps in and goes, okay, so that color, that thing, so it's like a helpmate on organizing. So Organizing is a really great thing to do when you can't get anything else done in other parts of your life. What do? Gals who like to cook, or guys who like to cook, or gender non-binary people who like to cook. You organize your spice rack, you clean out the back of the closet, the back of the refrigerator, you just get it together. So as you're getting it together, what you're also doing is you're helping your body, mind, spirit to feel productive, right? It makes sense. And you need that sense of accomplishment. Now, Virgo in the general charts is guides, and Mercury guides, and Virgo guides the 3rd and the 6th houses with Gemini and Virgo. So 6th house for Virgo is can be political, can be community oriented, can be small pet oriented, can be health. Most of the time it deals with your health. So organizing anything now is going to help you on so many levels. Even if you think, why bother? I can't get there from here, so it's going to get stacked up by the front door, but find another place to put it. We have a place in town that's related to the Humane Society. It's called Paws, and it's a clothing store, and they have jewelry, and they've got, furniture and paintings, and it's just a secondhand shop. And all the money goes toward the Humane Society. So we loaded up the back of the car yesterday, and off it went, because they're open now. Limited hours, but they're open. So you're going to find small openings of places where you can put things for later resolution. You got to throw it out. We had to get a new garbage can. We had to call, hey, it's broken. Can you come? So they came. Now it's smaller, but we recycle so much anyway, and they take recycling. So organizing has been like our main thruster lately. And I think for you as well, during this time frame through the end of September, it's going to overlap into Libra. Because Libra, you have any Libra friends, Libra rising friends? Look at their closets. It looks like we watched A Few Good Men last night for the 20th time. And, it's so Army, Navy, Marine, it's so organized. Now, you don't have to be a Virgo to get in shape with your body, mind, spirit. But the energy that the sun is in right now, it's casting a shadow. The color wheels from Christmas? Who's old enough to remember the color wheels? Well, they're back. They're retro. They're on eBay. The aluminum Christmas tree that we had when I was a kid growing up is now on eBay for, not the one, but, the aluminum Christmas tree is on eBay for $300. Hello? I think we paid like $39.95. But the color wheel, so it's like the silver would pick up the color, green and orange and purple and red. And I was like, in heaven, because I'm always seeing rainbows anyway. So when the sun is in a constellation such as Virgo, and she represents, Virgo represents the maiden, the angelic maiden, who is bountiful and can help you harvest. So given that, it's like the coloring of now, for the northern hemisphere, we're moving into autumn. And so you want to harvest that energy and of what you've been planting and growing and cultivating and editing, whatever that version is for you. You've been undergoing that transformation. Everybody has. And then and in the southern hemisphere, it's springtime. So the vibe is a little different in the southern hemisphere. It's about growth and cutting away the old, the pruning, and that's part of the harvest, right? So this is the energy we're looking at. Let me just check in. Hey, Rhonda says, my husband is Virgoid. Shelby, up late last 3 nights organizing. Oh, right. Great. And you're moving. Congratulations. So, right. So and there's a sense of clean. So you don't want to overwhelm, because it does affect your health. The clutter affects your health, and people who have a lot of clutter are emotionally congested because it's about making decisions. And Virgo on the high side is all about, all right, let me be discerning. Let me think about that. Let me write about that. Let me break that down. Let me not try to judge, oh, the floor is sticky. You know. And I went so Virgo the other day. With Mars retrograde, we're in the vibe. It's already beginning from our point of view of Earth. When Mars moves into the apparent motion of retrograde through January 6, 2021, what we're looking at is wanting to blast through something and move forward. And so there's like, it's like everybody rushing into a doorway, but it's still locked. So there's like bottleneck and it backs up. So I had all these packages got delivered and I had this organic mouthwash that I like. And I ordered a few of them. They were on sale. So I opened up the box in a hurry because I'm doing a few things over there to get clean. And I don't know how it happened. It was it's that motion. It's what I experience when a planet like Mars is going retrograde. I got to hurry up and get it done, but I'm not being thoughtful about it. So I just like grabbed things from the boxes, and one of them literally went right through my hand and exploded on the floor. It exploded all over the carpet, the shoebox, me, the floor. Hey, my foyer and living room is minty fresh right now. I had to mop 3 times to get the sticky and the smell, but at least it was a clean organic thing, right? So you want to be mindful of not juggling all the balls in the air at the same time or the spinning plates, because it's going to feel like that this coming week through the 10th for some people if you've got a lot of Aries in your chart. But what I think is fun about this time too is looking at where can I focus on my health and well-being by being productive in one area of my life. Now, there may be many, because again, the spinning plates of retrograde, all the retrograde. In fact, let me show you. There we go. So we see that, wait, I got to move me up. Okay. So we see that Sun in Virgo all the way over there. I'm going to move out of frame if I go too far. But Sun in Virgo, and it is trining. See this green line with the triangle? Right to Uranus in Taurus retrograde. What else is retrograde? Well, Neptune is retrograde. Mars is about to be retrograde. We've got the trio. These are like the three amigos hanging out for a while. Saturn in Capricorn retrograde. Pluto in Capricorn retrograde. Jupiter in Capricorn retrograde. And there's a few trines going on to the sun. So it's like this inspirational time right now to think of where, I talked about this the other day, but where do I want to get organized? Because I feel excited about order. Now, the order of things, I used to say that wisdom comes from knowing the order of things. And because you wouldn't put, if you're making, rice, you wouldn't put the rice in a pot without water, right? Before you turn on the flame. So the order of things is really important, and that's what Virgo represents. Now, I also like to say that the universe will show you the how, and the how comes really strongly in a month such as Virgo in September, because there's so many spinning plates, right? And these are all your thoughts. Imagine all the spinning plates are all your thoughts and energies, but with all the retrograde planets representing where you want to put something, how you want to manifest it, what you want it to look like. What color do I paint the walls? Or, I went on a new job interview and it was via Zoom. Or, what do I want my relationships to look like? All this is always, not just in September, but always affecting your health and your physical well-being. So in general, let's just say you're a Libra rising. That's what this chart looks like. If you were a Libra rising, you would have Virgo guiding your 6th house, right? This is the 6th house in astrology, but if you're a Libra rising, you've got Neptune there and the moon today. But in general, when Virgo let me retract that. In general, when we're looking at how we feel about something, we have to look at our digestive system and our thought process. Now, the brain and the thoughts that you think create energy. And now, metaphysically speaking, the brain and the large intestine are linked. So if you are constipated, congested, or otherwise feeling, stomach upset or not being able to digest something, and it can be a food, it can be a chemical, maybe you tried a new herb, or if you were working out and switching up your diet and exercise, maybe you added a new kind of a protein shake to your world, anything that's going on nutritionally is about digestion as well as thought process. So you have to digest what I'm saying, what someone else just meant. What do they mean? What do they mean by that? Because the energy of Virgo is very contemplative at its most peaceful place, but wired for sound to assess, articulate, process. A lot of processing going on with Virgo and Gemini because they're both guided by Mercury. Now, some astrologers believe that Mercury is also guided by Chiron. I don't vibe on that. It may be true for some people. I see Chiron as, people call Chiron, and not just people, but a lot of astrologers will talk about Chiron as the wounded healer. What I have found consistently with every chart and every person I've ever worked with is that Chiron represents the wound that you share with your father, whether you know that person or not, or your masculine parent. If you come from same-sex household, it could be the parent that you deem more masculine. And whatever wound that they have, you are sharing that and need to process through. Again, the processing. So let me just check in and say hello. Come join me. We're talking about the sun in Virgo. Hi, Leanna, I'm sorry. So if you had 20 minutes to yourself, just totally free, what would you do with it? What would you do with that 20 minutes? How would you fill it? Because, space abhors a vacuum. We don't, anything we find blank, we fill it. A room. Oh, I could use a lamp over there, and a little couch would look cute, right? A little table right over here. So any space we have, even in our brain, we look to fill it. Now, I found myself, I chant and meditate every day, and sometimes I will find myself chanting, and then there's another part of my brain that is thinking about something. I'm like, whoa, no. We're not going to do that. A mantra literally is to shape and focus the mind. That's what mantra means, to focus the mind. So I found it fascinating that I became aware of a dual focus. That's how Virgo can process. And they can fold laundry like nobody's business. Okay. Does this make sense? Is this helping? Okay, now let's bring Uranus in Taurus and Virgo, retrograde, into the Virgo equation, because I think you're going to find this a lot of fun. Uranus is an energy, is a planetary energy that we use in astrology to represent, it's not doing it to you, please understand that, to represent your freedom, humanitarianism, rebellion, eclectic energy, innovation, space, technology, astrology. So for an example, Virgo, trine, Sun in Virgo, trine, See the green triangle? It goes right to Uranus in Taurus. Taurus and Virgo are both earth energies. They are guided by different planetary energies. Taurus is guided by Venus. It's more about support and protection, beauty, love, finances, food, and romance, sensuality. And Virgo is more about the assessment of information and the grounding of that through, it can be a medical means, it can be a investigative means, journalism, any kind of health and healing, or blogging, just like get the word out. So if you've got something important that you are thinking, saying, writing, expressing, I am a Taurus. I talk about astrology and about awakening and about star seeds and different planetary aspects and energies. And now I'm organizing my astrology masterclass for its final stages. Yay! So I'm excited about that, right? It may go slower than I want it to go. It's like, why is this taking so long? And I think, well, okay, if I put my mind to it and then I run out of steam and then the phone rings and I've got a client, or we're dealing with our dog is old and, sometimes she doesn't sleep and So there's so much distraction, and distraction's going to happen. So, but without getting too frustrated about it, we go with the flow, we flow with it, right? But at the same time, we come back to what's exciting. What is exciting you? You may be thinking, I am venturing on something completely new. I applied for a job somewhere and it's nothing in my wheelhouse, but they said, okay. So you're starting something new, innovative, very unusual, eclectic, or you're finding a new way to express yourself that is very articulate. Now, the downside, or the 3D vibe, third dimension, I've talked about this before, right? The third dimensional vibe is victim versus perpetrator. And anytime you see two opposing forces come together and they will not budge, they create, on some level, a victim and a perpetrator. And because people will fall into those roles very quickly, especially around politics or religion or medicine. So you want to look at your health and well-being right now. Let's pull some pieces of these puzzle pieces together. Hey, Christine, don't apologize for showing up late. You came when it was perfect for you. Thanks for showing up. Pass it on, folks. Really, I want to spread the word, expand the reach. So please, if you're watching this live, please like, or, show some love, and thank you, share and comment. And if you're watching this on a replay in YouTube, please subscribe and click the little bell. Then you'll be notified of all videos that come your way from me and Astrology Mojo. So Renee says, wow, that's interesting. Processing through the masculine, that explains lots of my world. Okay, good. I'm glad. So there's lots of revelations to be had this September, and a lot of behind the scenes, right? Any retrograde, and this is about, Mars is about to be retrograde in Aries. And since it's a natural placement, it's like screeching on the brakes. I keep thinking of that scene in Star Trek, Into Darkness, where we see Chris Pine, Captain Kirk, before he's Captain Kirk, as a child, and he stole his stepfather's car, and he's just like speeding down the road with like rock music playing. That is so Aries, right? And he comes to, and he's being chased by a futuristic cop, and it's like this chase scene, and he literally does all this maneuvering and jumps out of the car right as it's going over a cliff. That is the abrupt stop or transitional period when Mars goes into retrograde. So you're cruising, you're going, you're doing it, and then boom, and you jump out of the car. And it's like, now what? You're full of dust. You got to shake yourself off and go, all right, this. But you can still move forward. The planet's not making you stop or go. Make sense? Okay, I am going to pull some awareness cards here. They don't have a reversed, but I might start vibing on reverse. These are the universal law cards. So I feel some vibes moving. Oh, Kamisha, hi. I'm so glad you're here. Okay, so when you're moving your energy and you're being thoughtful and you're cleaning up, you're organizing, I want you to think about the moments that you go, and I mean, this is so critical and key. On the downside, Uranus energy, which guides Aquarius, can be very critical in a rebellious way. Like, I'm not doing that. Who said no? The Aries energy can do that too. When Virgo, I was just making a post the other day for Instagram. They're going to be called Zodiac Smoothies. And so every sign will have its own version of a smoothie. And Virgo just made me burst out laughing. I found this image of this woman, like with this expression, like, I am not drinking that. There was like so much Virgo vibe in being evaluating. Yes. No. Okay. There's a difference between negative judgment and evaluation, right? Evaluation is she has red hair. That's it. I can see that she has red hair. A judgment is, did she dye her hair? I mean, it looks terrible. Why would she do that? She must have been born with it, because nobody would do that to themselves. So like the negative judgment wants to come. And combined with, even though it's a trine to Uranus, there's going to be moments where you're sifting through your stuff and you're throwing stuff away, you're piling it for so-and-so to come get it. You're going to hear an echo of a judgment. That is a negative judgment for yourself or for them. I so want you to be aware of that. I can hear my peeps talking to me right now, saying that this is the echo of the 3D that's leaving us. Okay, so you may suddenly have a thought of, oh yeah, my little brother, he said he's going to come for a visit. He's going to brave the airport and be clean and smart about everything, but and then you start thinking, well, it's about time. I'm the one who always visited him. Okay, that kind of thing that comes out, and we all have it. Instead of holding it in, which creates illness, dis-ease, and dysfunction, you want to be aware of that in the moment, because remember, like I talked about earlier, I could be chanting and then suddenly I become aware of a second part of my brain that is now getting louder, that is not focused on the chant. And so it's gone scattered. It's gone squirrel. So when you go squirrel, and you will, it's going to echo a little bit louder. This is brilliant. And I'm so grateful for all the new planetary energies that we're starting to feel. It's like the more we dig deep into what we're feeling and why, and the doubts that are casting a shadow and sabotaging us, they're going to emerge even bigger. Now, it's not to bring you down. It's not to head case over it. I spoke with a client the other day, and the details and the detail and this is a Virgo rising. And I said to this person, I understand you need to process the details, but we've had this conversation 7 times. So now we need to take action. And here's some very strategic ways we can act on, and then let that processing detail voice get smaller, because the more you focus on the details, the more details you will have, or the more energy will be put around what you're talking about. So if you have a hissy fit about a thing, a person, a situation, okay, have the hissy fit. But the more you keep talking about it over and over, and it becomes your story, and then, like 20 years later, you're still talking about, I remember that day, that guy, he elbowed me off the train. Okay, let it go. We have to let it go. We have to let it go. Because that echo of trauma, the wound, is now going to impact your physical well-being, your mental well-being, and your spiritual ascension times 10. Does that make sense? Let it go. Do not make me sing because I can't reach those notes. Adina reached them. I can't reach them. Well, I try. I sing a lot. But it's not always in key. Does that make sense? Yes. Yes. All right. I am just going to pull this. Hang on. Every time I say hang on, I think of Frasier. Who used to watch Frasier? Okay. And the maid, the housekeeper who was psychic, hi. And she'd shake somebody's hand. I'm getting something on you. And she'd go, hang on. I'm getting something on you. That's what's coming into my brain right now. So like little sentimental echoes are fine, right? But the ones that hold you back, keep you down, make you think I'm not enough, I'm a victim. Because people get the bigger picture here. And let me get rid of this picture, speaking of pictures. Okay. The larger picture is we are evolving, we are merging biology with divinity, okay? So when we do that, the biology wants to fight and struggle like a little kid who's having a tantrum and they don't want to go to sleep right now because they don't want to miss anything. And then they become a victim because they're tired and they're thirsty and they're hungry and well, how come I didn't get that and he got that and they got that? So we're going to be still a little bit more. We're going to be aware of the voice when you're cleaning out that closet, when you're organizing your recycling boxes, when you're taking that supplement. Is all my supplements for the first hour. The second hour, I have more. And when you start to do that and a voice pops up in your head and it's 3D, third dimension reality is the victim and the perpetrator. Fourth dimension is where some people are ascending to, and that's a beautiful thing. And that's where the trust comes in. And you are setting the conditions for that trust. They are not. You are. That's the Uranus and Taurus part, setting the conditions on a very practical scale. All right, I'm not going to pull a card right now. Let's talk about this. When you set a condition for something, you tell the universe, I'm scared of making a change or a transformation. Uranus is all about jump into the void. Taurus is all about wait. Let me understand. What are we going to do? What's it going to look like? How's it going to feel? I don't like pain. I don't like surprises. Okay. The happy surprise. Okay. This is going to be a happy surprise with Uranus in Taurus retrograde, trining Sun in Virgo, is about you understanding that you have the power to set a condition. Now, if in, let's say, a financial world, someone will say, yeah, you got to go through this process. You have to get this job first, this training first, then you get this job, then you watch the trend, then you do the market stuff, the analyzing, then you see what's going up and you go, what's going down? Then you have to do a little research over here and you're like, okay, I have a gut feeling. And they're telling you, no. We don't go with the gut. We go with the trend. And we see where it's rising and falling. Well, who makes the trend? People make the trend. What's the trend based on? It's based on behavior. If everyone, literally everyone on this planet sat down and meditated for 3 minutes simultaneously, do you know what the trend would show? Off the charts. What just happened? So you're going to set the condition. If somebody in any industry is telling you, yeah, we don't do that, that doesn't work. Well, if you're trying to defy gravity, okay, it may not work. But if you're an astronaut, you can defy gravity. So where can you be an astronaut in your world? Where can you think, Not outside the box. People, there are no boxes. It's your brain is your box. So stop and think. Who's trying to set a condition for me? Who's telling me I can't do something? Because I'm hearing that so much more, because that's when the victim's voice comes up. No, they said I can't apply for that job because, they have to take a certain quota. It's like, blah. Then do you want to work for these people who are telling you that you are overqualified? No, then you find something else. So why are we latching on to the thing that shows us that we're a victim? Because that's the echo. Does that make sense? I need you to be clear on this, that this is the part of the shadow coming out this month, that what you're going to see is the woe is me is going to be there, because that's the biology part of us that holds on to memory. The woe is me. That's the 3D victim. But if you're moving into fourth dimension reality, then you start to become aware of, I can exercise my right, my intelligence, my spiritual awareness, my compassion, and move my energy, not fight. We're not fighting. We don't fight. We are not Foo Fighters. Although I've got to post a video of this drummer, 11-year-old drummer from Australia or New Zealand. Anyway, she invited the Foo Fighter to have a drum off. It was amazing. Anyway, so you have to look at, where do I feel like I'm expanding in my awareness, but they're telling me I can't do that? Or where's the proof? Do you have proof on that? Because the Virgo energy is very critical and looks at the data. Now, if you are doing something brand new, and you don't have data to back it up, you need to find some data. And if you're starting a business or you're doing something where you might need to beta test something, and it's called social proof. So I might say to some people, I want to run this by you. Would you read my short story? I haven't written a short story. I'm writing novels. But anyway, I'm going to run this chapter by you. Can I get your opinion on it? Now, you give it to 3 to 10 people. If 2 or more people are giving you the same input and they don't know each other and they're not talking about the story, then you're being given information that, oh, maybe I ought to pay attention. But if you get 10 different assessments, then it's a crapshoot. It's random. It's just an opinion. They may be very wonderful and valid opinions, but you want to look for a continual thread to, does my hair look okay if it were green? And you ask like all your best friends, and you ask all your family members, and you ask the public, and you just stop people on the street. Do you like the way I look with green hair? And if more than 2 people who don't know each other have the same opinion, then I want you to listen to that. What's in that for you? Because it's going to give you information. This is a month of information. And to not attach to, oh, they hate it. I'm terrible. I look awful. I'm so stupid. Why did I do, no, we're not going to spiral down. We're going to look at who is setting the conditions for your reality. Is it you? Is it a boss? Is it a doctor? Is it your financial advisor? Is it a teacher? I remember the day, oh yeah, Aruga came out of my ears when our kid came home and had really bad cramps. I mean, they've struggled with that, so we've been working on that. But they're 21 now. When they were 14, they came home from their first year, it was high school, in their first year of high school. They came home and I said, what happened? Oh, Mom, I had to go to the nurse. I had to lie down. And she made a hot water bottle for me and gave me some Tylenol. And then she told me I should probably take birth control pills. I said, really? Why? Oh, because it would reduce the cramps. And I said, okay, when you're feeling better, we're going to have a conversation about hormones and drugs and random people who are giving advice to 14-year-olds about their bodies. And then that escalated into, don't you ever let somebody, because in some states, young women were being injected with Gardasil or given, for herpes. And I was like, what? Don't let, nobody touches you. Nobody. So when someone is setting a condition for your world, you have to assess for yourself, is it okay to think outside the non-existent box, Uranus? Of course it is. To set a healthy value system, Taurus, for what I believe to be the best how and direction and process, Virgo, for my overall well-being, question mark. Yeah. I know a doctor who has a child and said, okay, the school that they were in, they were going to have the 9-year-olds wear masks all day. And my friend, the doctor, said, in so many words, no way. We found another option. Took them out of school, put them somewhere else. Because no one's going to tell my kid they're 9. What the pathogens, the doctor is saying, the mitochondria, the lack of social, it's like these are kids. So, so the judgments are going to fly, the opinions are going to fly, the conditions are going to be like, why? How did you know to do that? And then you may get some people who are so excited because you did something that they didn't know that they could do. And you've given someone permission just by being. At my first Alanis Morissette concert, I've been singing all my life. And I love Alanis and Carly Simon and Annie Lennox and Lisa Gerrard. Oh my gosh, I go to spiritual places when I hear her sing. And Deva Premal, same thing. So when I saw Alanis for the first time in concert, I suddenly came home and I thought, she just gave me permission to sing. Not that I didn't have it before, but something switched in me. And I felt so empowered. So this is what we're looking to do now. We're looking to get beyond the conditional assessment that someone has put into place for you. Now, I will post this on my Facebook page. My doctor gave me a link to to the study that was done for taking your temperature with the laser thing, the laser flash. And she said the wrist is a fraction more accurate than the forehead, and plus the pineal gland has the same photoreceptors that your eyes have. So every time you get blasted in the forehead, psychically, number one, I don't like it. That's how it feels, like I just got punched in the head. But I was just following the protocol. Wherever I'd go, people would go, and my doctor was like, here's the link, pass it on. Do the wrist. And some people are saying, no, it's medically accepted to ask for people to take your temperature on your wrist instead of your forehead if they've got one of those laser guns. In fact, I would highly stand up and proclaim your new value of, my husband tried it at the local gym, and the guy said, I have to follow these guidelines that were handed down. I can't allow you access to the pool unless I do your forehead. And he's like, but the wrist is medically accepted. It's, and he's like, I know, he said, I know. My wife's an energy worker. I know. But the rules of this spa say. So there may be times when you come up against that, right? And you're going to have to find a different way to approach it. But stand up for yourself more and more. Because as the rules are changing, it's so common for people to turn into sheeple and just go, yeah, okay, I'll do what they say. But they're setting the conditions for you, your wealth, health, happiness, passion, and purpose. You got to think twice about that. All right, does that make sense? Let me just check in, say hello, Vicki. I don't like the gun pointing at the head. Hold up the wrist and say it is medically acceptable. And I will post the link to the study that was done. Now, there were other medical facilities and places and studies that say, oh yeah, no, we did a study and it's fine. It's perfectly acceptable. A lot of those places have outside financial interests in why you should get this done. Okay, that's all I'm saying. So we just want to go with the wrist as much as possible. Check it out. Talk to your doctor. Vibe it for yourself. I don't diagnose. I don't offer cures. I'm just telling you what I'm doing and what my group of friends who are doctors are doing and professing based on study. And my doctor's main course of study, Dr. Heyman, is immunology. So I find that fascinating. Right? All right, I'm mixing up some cards. Yes, we are in a moon void right now, so there might be some internet issues. I see Christine's having some trouble. All right, whoa, ha la la. This one wants to come. Oh, this is beautiful. So here, with all that's going on, we could use a little stillness, right? Okay? And the number 2 is empathy. Empathy and a little stillness. So we want to breathe, inhale, we want to exhale, we want to just stay tuned to your inner channel. That's the real channel. Just change channels, just go there. And as you meditate in your stillness, you're going to hear those voices that I was talking about. And you don't have to do a clean sweep of all of them. You just deal with the one that comes up and the one that's recurring. Because as you move, as a person moves out of 3D into 4D, you realize you can take back your power. And then when I went from 4 to 5D, it was the big time channel. Now I'm moving into 6D, and it's transforming my cellular level. I am literally changing cells. One day I will talk about it at length, but I am literally altering cells in my body. And, my doctor will look and go, all of them will look. I have many doctors, and I go to them for different reasons, and they'll go, so, your blood looks really weird. Like they all say that. So they had all the tests done. Do you have leukemia? Do you have thalassemia? Beta minor? No. Anemic. But the other ones, the red blood cells are doing things, and I go, I know I'm talking to them. I'm healing my body on a whole new level. And as I do, I open up spiritually, because the vibes that are coming in from the universe to support us, these are conscious vibes from different planetary systems and different starseed. I know that may sound like science fiction to some people who are listening to this. And they're like, what? Aliens? It's like, well, yeah. What is alien is is the awareness of your power. That's alien to some people. But as you get more and more in tune with what you do consciously, where it comes from, empathically, and what the outcome is and how you detach from the outcome, how you can move energy. I don't fight. I move energy like Dr. Strange, okay? So there's no fighting involved, because when you fight, you do this. Now, some people, of course, you have to stand up for yourself if you're in a dire situation. And I just heard from one of my friends who's a doctor, said she heard from a friend of hers in Colorado, a big lumberjack guy came in from a big camping, hunting thing in the middle of nowhere, like hundreds of miles of nowhere. Took him 6 hours to get to and that wasn't his first stop. He was attacked by a bear. And 6 foot, bulky, like what you would picture. Lumberjack, checkered shirt, the big burly beard, hadn't showered in a week, and he came in with right across his waist. And that wasn't his first stop. He had to go drop off the horses, make sure they were okay. He did, and he was like, yeah, just patch me up so I can get back. I find that fascinating. Anyway, all kinds of people in this world. So you have this kind of power, right? You have this kind of ability to say, I can overcome pain, I can overcome illness, I can overcome this situation, moving, my jobless thing, my heart is breaking, my back is aching, my whatever's going on. You have the power to set the condition. And the month of Virgo is going to show you the victim. So let's not go into a spiral with the victim. Let's look at it like a child who's crying. I had a big hissy fit tantrum yesterday because I hadn't slept in 2 days because our dog was up. She is in She's going to be 16 next week, our little Virgo. And she started last January with, she has a heart condition now. But she's puppy. She's got a lot of energy. She's doing great. She eats well. I make all her food. She's playful. But sometimes she starts coughing and choking. As the trachea shuts down, it creates a heart condition because there's lack of oxygen. So we had a couple of rough nights around the Pisces full moon. And I was sleep deprived. And I felt like I was 7 years old and I wanted to cry. It's like, I don't have any friends. I was like, who is talking? Who is talking? My little baby me. And I was like, no, honey, you have a lot of friends. And they care. And they love you. It's all right. What do you need? You need to lie down and watch a movie. That's what you need. So I did. And it was great. So when you hear the voice, you want to hug her, him, them. You want to hold yourself in a place of compassion and love, because that's the seed that makes you a Mojo Mystic. You got that? Are we good? I'll be back on Monday. Let me see. Monday the 7th already? Okay, I am going to pull a card. I promised. How many times did I promise? And I got stillness, but I'm going to pull another one for the group, for everyone who's watching, everyone who's listening. We are all in this together. And we work together or we don't work at all. And when you start moving that energy and you come to that place of stillness, like the first card I pulled, you're going to realize something that is so profound it has no words. And there's no need to talk about it or to share it or to expand on it, except by breathing and being in it, moment to moment. All right, universe, thank you. Star seeds, angelic forces, light workers, all the loved ones and support that we have for the energy coming to this planet across time, space, dimension, and karmic experience. I just heard in my head, is there a question? Yes. Yes. Can you show us a little extra support and love advice for the group? Is there a question? They're so funny. They are so humorous. And I love my people, my squad. But nothing so far? Is it? Whoop. Wait. All right. I guess I'm just hanging out playing with the cards because nothing wants to come out. These cards are getting old and sticky. Ah. Yeah. Gotcha. Oh, I love it. I love it. Thank you. We are. This is what we are. Every single spark. Every single spark of light. This is us as a whole. Okay? This is us. Be at one. Be at one with yourself and others. And move that energy. Be sparkly. Be present. And as always, I wish you peace. I will be back on Monday. Have a beautiful weekend.